All right, we're gonna try this again. Having technical difficulties. It's supposed to be 4 of us, so trying to get us in. Welcome to Tuesday Tea and Bourbon. Let's see if I'm even popping up. Come on, come on, come on. Peace, 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 peace. Hopefully we can get it all working today, y'all. All right. We got one request. All right. Peace. All right. Good, man. Come on, we're going to keep working it. Y'all come in. Now, I hope we don't get to Erica in and then we can't get Lucretia in. Peace, y'all. Peace, peace, peace. Come on in. Welcome to Tuesday Tea and Bourbon.
Let's go.
Coach is sipping on. Erica, it might be you, baby. It ain't coming in.
I wonder. Oh,
Every time I get to you, it won't let you in.
Shoot. And where's Lucretia? There she is. I had to run. I had to get all the energy. I had to hit train before.
Oh my goodness! I didn't even have enough time, yo, because I wasn't even watching it today. So
no,
I just got a message. My aunt sent me a message, and I was like, so I went on and ran and turned on the news.
Yeah.
Who is that? Who else is in? Oh, that's just you. Okay, let me see. just joy. Just double the joy. Let's try.
Well,
You know what? Do y'all have business pages?
This is through it. Yeah.
Is your page a business page, Lucretia?
Yes. No. Yes.
Well, I mean, Erica should be too. I don't know what the deal is. Peace, y'all. Share.
Yay.
To the Tuesday Tea. I still can't get Erica.
She's got 2 pages though. No, did she try on both?
Yeah, try on your other page, Erica. And I'm spilling tea. Like I'm spilling the tea already.
I'm always down for some tea. I know. I was like, it's Tuesday. I feel like I've done so much already this week, and I have so much more to do. It's been a good week, though.
Good.
I know. Where are you, Lucretia?
I'm still in Asheville. I'm getting ready to hit the road right after this. And then, not officially, but like I'll be back in Asheville, and then I'm officially gone.
Right.
So I'm just handling all the things. Last night I had an event for the American Herbalist Guild. So it was fun. I was holding like a little meet and greet space, and it was cool. We got to share stories. I told them the stories that I teach, and then everybody got to share stories, and there were all kinds of people in there just sharing their connection to herbs and, you know, their ceremony and with the herbs and it was just, I mean, I learned a lot. I was like taking notes about new herbs that I hadn't heard about, and it was just really interesting, you know. I love it. I mean, I love it. It was the closest to having, except, you know, being in person, that it felt like community. And this guy was like in his garden, and so he was like showing us the plant he did the plant meditation with, and I was like, oh, wow. So it was so nice to feel like community online, because usually you're just speaking into a screen, and it's something that I'm not really used to. So it was great having the interaction, and we have different people from different countries and different backgrounds with the plants, and it was so fun.
What plant did he show you all?
He had Chinese motherwort.
Oh!
Yeah, and like it was huge, and he was really tall, but his plant was huge. Hi everybody.
Can you all say if you can add
I just tried to see, and let me see.
I can't see her request. It's funny because I've been talking about adding motherwort to my regimen lately. And so it was like, there she was again, like in screen. And so I was just like, okay, motherwort. we were talking about Motherwort, and we were talking about his connection and what he got in the plant spirit meditation with Motherwort. And then I was talking about that Motherwort as a plant. You know, she's focuses on like heart healing, you know, sacred space for the heart. But like, she's either like that gentle, like mama, like it'll be all right, baby, or she's like, you need to get it together, put your big girl panties on, and just handle it. Like, there is no in between with her love. And I was like, it's really fascinating, like journeying with her as a plant energy. I mean, I've gotten both things, and she's like, girl, get it together. You're in your feels right now.
Mother God wort.
I know. She's like, okay, all right, I gotta go to work. I know.
Yes, I love that plant as well.
I know.
Of course, happy 420. That's how I feel about Mary Jane. Like,
yes,
all
yes.
of the different friends, like she would either do the same. She either put you on your butt, or she'd be like, okay, I'm gonna take you through this step by step.
Exactly.
So, love the plants. I appreciate the plants. Much needed. So I had text Lucretia earlier this week. I think it was like Sunday. And I was like, we were talking about the nervine plants last week.
Yeah.
I definitely need something to like integrate, because I feel like I'm here, I'm present, but like my mind wants to be everywhere else. So it's just, so I needed to, you know, get more of those, which I'm already doing, like B12, and I'm doing, you know, all the other things. And she was like, ashwagandha and the oats, and what else?
That's some milky oats, the ashwagandha.
There's some in here, yeah.
Yay,
all
ashwagandha.
The that I have in my cabinet. And so that ashwagandha took me out. Like, it was interesting. I think I was like, of course, like downloading and feeling all the energy shifts yesterday. And plus my chart moved into, you know, another area as I'm approaching my 40th. So it's just like yesterday, I felt like I was just out of body the whole day. I was like, what is going on? I feel like I took some shrooms. Oh my God. Like, what is that?
That's why I get so excited. People are always thinking like you got to hit the heavy hitters for these shamanic experiences and these like chill out experiences. And I'm like, the plants have so many different allies that you can really use to like move your moods and hold space for you. And that's what we also talked about. It was like herbs that people in traditions have used to unite communities and so different things. So I also got to hear like linden. This woman had a story about how linden, it helps with communication, and they would plant it around courthouses. So I was like, I know. I was like, it's so fun to hear everybody's like connection to the plants. I was like, I never knew that.
Yeah.
So
I know, like, we know the different plants that are connected to different energies and what to use them for. And yeah, when I had my like herbal gardens, I would of course like plant sage, plant like holy basil, like different things around my house. For like protective measures or to bring in the energy or the money or the love or whatever I was doing in that place. Yeah, and I would even like sometimes bring like bundles with me when I was vending at the time, and bring like bundles of herbs to either give away, because also that energy of like it's another currency, right? So yeah, I love it. I love my plants.
Holy basil is bae. I'm like, holy basil, especially the big fresh bunches.
Yeah.
I'm like, I take holy basil on a daily, but I mean, I've been talking about ashwagandha also.
Oh, yeah.
So let's talk about some of the benefits of ashwagandha while we're on here with everybody. That'd be cool. So what are some of the things that Tequila Joy that you like ashwagandha? Do you use it in your practice?
I do. Actually, I've been taking it daily for the past year, and it really helps me calm. I had a lot of initial like lung stress, and so just as I don't really use it like as an emulsifant or anything, but just something to help calm my nervous system down so that it isn't so like full of cortisol and heightened, and it just like helps my muscle memory relax and, you know, really kind of like ease into being in this 3D body, like settled, and it feels good. I usually take it. I have like kind of, what do you call them? Like compound, like a pill.
Yeah.
But I had a friend, that's what I put in this, who did like a tincture for me with like milky oat and ashwagandha, and that's nice
Ooh.
when I put it in. Let me go get it. Let me see what else is in there. But that's how I take it and what I like to take.
Yeah. I'm actually pretty new to ashwagandha, like in the last year, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't use it that often. I am still I I'm a creature of habit. So I have like my 6 herbs that I just take daily. And so I have
Yeah.
to think about integrating more into there. And so I have like a few packets that I've been wanting to make tinctures with, and the ashwagandha was one of them that I've been wanting to make tinctures with. So it's just been, so I've been pinching off like for the last year since I've had this stash, and like putting it in my tea, because tea is how I take my medicine, unless I get a tincture made for me. So I'm trying to like make my own tinctures now. I mean, I have before, but it's like I do it in batches. And so I have to be in the mood, and I'm like, I make a whole big batch of everything. But for me, it's definitely the stress. I really don't care for the muscle part, the relaxation, because it relaxes me too much. And because, I like to move, like, especially right now, I'm not highly productive right now, but like I am still in my process. And so I need to, if I don't feel the urge to move my body, I won't, and I need to move my body daily.
Yeah.
So yesterday I was like, because I had my routine going now, I'm like, yes, Monday is like hard hit cardio, and I'm gonna do a little bit of yoga afterwards, and I ain't do shit. So I did nothing.
Good.
So.
Yeah, I need it. Oh, sorry.
Erica said it helps her mood.
With her mood. I need it for like my physical body, because again, like I had such terrible like lung issues, especially with my right lung, that if I don't have something to help that cortisol, like de-escalate that cortisol, my physical form actually literally gets jacked up. Like I had lung issues when I was like a baby, and then like the impact of the fires out in Portland and the stress, and a major bicycling accident that punctured my lung. So like my body needs help, like kind of remembering, like, okay, you're fine, like you don't need to be in this like heightened state all the time. So it's really, really helpful for me. I've been drawn to chaseberry, chase tree, red raspberry.
That's a good herb for, if I'm not mistaken, is that the one that's really good for wound care?
Not red raspberry. Hibiscus. No. Yeah, red raspberry tea.
Yeah, no raspberry tea, but the chaseberry or chase tree. I think I know somebody that uses that in their herbal blend for their moon blend.
Okay.
But I don't know, Erica. What are the qualities of that? Yeah, and hormone, she says. Yes. So Lucretia is we all, of course, as you can tell, we are, dabble in or use the plant medicine for our practice, for our personal practice, and for our practice with our clients. But Lucretia is the herbalist of the group. Like she is, that's what her medicine, her main practice is all about. And of course, the rest of us, we use it as well as, like I said, in our personal and private practice.
Can you all hear me?
Beyonce of herbs.
Beyonce of herbs.
I think I'm just a herb nerd. Like I've constantly just been into but I'm like, to me, it's I think it's just the love affair with them. It's geeking out with them, and it's like really hearing how the indigenous cultures use them. But I really feel like in herbalism, it's super hard because most people are so into the clinical part that they miss all the magic part. Yeah. And like I'm only using the plants for 50% of what they are for.
And see, that's how I started using the herbals, was mainly through the magical part, and then it was like the herbal part came afterwards when I started using them in my tea blends and things like that. But the magic part was first, because my first practice, definitely was all about the earth magic. So,
Yes.
mhm.
That was definitely a part when I first got into Chinese medicine and went to school in Asheville, actually. We had a botany class and club, and it was so extensive and so wonderful. And you really learned within, or I did within that framework, that you can take, herbs and acupuncture and point prescriptions and all kinds of things. And you don't have to always be so clinical. That's just a diagnostic. And so, if I'm ever meeting anybody, it's like, where am I meeting this person at? Is it in the spiritual? Is it in the mental? Is it in the physical? And then treat accordingly. And so the magic for me is never lost when I treat a person. It just depends on where they're at. Do they need a more like physical or like Western based model of understanding like what I'm treating, even though I might be in another realm treating in another way, like, there's some consistency and congruency with that then. Co-creativity.
I love that you mentioned that part. Like, are you in the physical? Are you in the spiritual? Are you in the mental? Like the different capacities that we could be in when we actually are practicing with our people, with our clients. And that's one of the Erica asked to like tap into more of the magic. That's where I like really enjoy, because I, of course, like to bring in the spiritual part of it. And so recognizing, like, I first learned, that there are feminine and masculine herbs, right? And so when I'm dealing with certain energies, whether they are presenting feminine or masculine, what energy am I healing? What energy is the most that needs to be balanced, or that needs to be, heightened, or whatever? Is to bring in those herbs that also help to, to help that part. So the masculine and feminine part, and also like the elements. It was the easiest way in which I learned it. There are some plants that are fire and water and earth and metal and all those different things. So that was the fun part for me. And then figuring out, okay, what other properties did it have that it would bring me? If it's jasmine, it's going to be calming, but it's also going to be comforting. It's going to be soft. It's going to bring the softness out of me. It's going to, bring this gentleness, like all of those different things. And it's a feminine herb. So all those things is what. And if you learn it that way too, it's easier to me. Like, it's just easier to like grasp and say, okay, what am I? But of course, you have to be aware in your body and your being and your mind, like to really be like, okay, what is it that I need balancing in? But that's
most definitely.
I
love talking to people who are more accustomed to like Western herbs. There's some crossover with Chinese herbs and Chinese medicine, but to go on your part of like the spiritual or like the magic, there's two categories of Chinese medical herbs that really stick out to me. And one is like literally called calming the Shen, which is like calming the spirit. So those are actually, a lot of those are actually your shells, like your ocean shells, which I think is really cool. And then another one would be like your blood tonics or your blood movers, because they say that blood is the mediumship of your emotions, which translates into your Shen or your spirit. So there's like two very specific categories that kind of work on that. Are you guys getting interference?
Yeah, I think Lucretia's like timing. Lucretia's spinning, so I don't know if that's what that was. Okay. Are you there? Can you hear us, Lucretia? Nope, I can't hear you. Now you're going out. Look at all this, all this interference we're having today. That's I mean,
it's par for the course.
Right, and I feel like I just been wanting to jump out of my body. I'm definitely gonna have to
hold on 1 second. Let me see if I
Listen, this is why I ran. This is exactly why I was like, I gotta get this out.
Oh, Kara, yeah, you had to go back out and come back in. Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know you all what's going on. Well, we know what's going on with the energy. Like, there's a huge shift that just happened. So let's let's dive into that. Like this. I was on right before we came onto the live. I was on gosh, of course I wouldn't remember his name, Dr. David John's page, and he was like, let's clear that this is not a win.
For real.
But you know, also in.
Contextually, yeah, yeah.
Yes.
It's a
Not a win,
yes
also in.
and it's
Yeah,
yep.
yeah. And so this conviction that we got today, y'all, like my heart is still, it's
Yeah.
still
Oh
like,
yeah.
yeah. And it's also like the tears are like celebration, but they're also like deep sadness. Like, are we fucking serious? Like, is this the
Yeah.
first time that I can remember us actually getting some type of justice? Like,
Justice, man. That's
it's wild. And so I'm just grateful. I'm grateful because that's, you know, those of us that are also, we're all doing this work and you know, whether we're being activists and, you know, in our community or, you know, however we are doing to try to get some sense of peace in this world. And on the healing part, it's just as much of a struggle as it is anything anywhere else. Whether you're just dealing in, you know, social justice, you know, you're dealing in, you know, racial equity, like all of these different things come together. And so it's just huge for, it's just huge for us. It's just huge.
Yeah. And then there's still like talking about the nervines and the things that we've been talking about, I think have been so important for the past couple of weeks, just to kind of buffer and like understanding, you know, it's, you know, one step in a huge staircase and it's a marathon, not a sprint. And so making sure self-care that, you know, even though we want to see it, sometimes we don't need to see it when we're being pushed to a different level. And I was seeing how the news was like repeatedly just showing it for hours and hours and hours, and people were just being so triggered. And, you know, clients I'm talking about, and it adds to like the tension of the whole moment. And it was, you know, crazy in herbalism to have this, you know, we talked about it last week, this man who wrote that 20-page, you know, attack of people of color for safe spaces. Yeah. And I was like, how can you do this during this, you know, moment? Like, hey, if you feel, I mean, it's not okay that you feel like, but like you
going out
really are gonna claim Mother Gaia and sit here and see what the nation's going, and then the, you know, go into the community of create spaces to heal things. You can't heal it, but help that. So let's talk about some things, you know, think would help, like our clients and things like that, about helping, you know, process going on right now.
Yeah, is
check it
out here.
You have to be careful for you. Absolutely.
Are we all out?
And being creative, being careful what you digest.
Yes.
I know through the process, we can hear you. Can you hear us? I know through the process, I watch the news maybe a couple times a week just to tune in, just to make sure that I'm tuned in, because it is in alignment with my work. And I wanted to know what was going on, and this is how I know that it's in alignment with my work and who I am, because there would be moments like last week. I think it was last week when one of the testimonies came in, and one of the doctors came in and he said he broke down the minutes. And he said it was like 2 minutes and 44 seconds to like how long he was on him, or like after the breath left his body. And so I started to think about, like, of course, like immediately, you know, our breath stops, right? And so like my breath, because it's just like, you know, that instant like anger, you know, all this stuff. But I instantly start thinking about the magic of those numbers. When I think about like 244, the breakdown of 2 and 4 and 4, those are numbers of justice. Those are numbers of Mayat. Those are numbers of, you know, actually things being rewritten. And so really just like tuning in and saying, okay, you know, something is happening, something is shifting. That is divine timing. And so let's be clear that, you know, justice is going to be done. So doing my prayers. So I felt like I heard everything that I needed to hear in that moment. And then I came out and I did my prayers. You know, I you know, wrote down that time, you know, I did whatever I needed to do around that. And always moving my body afterwards. Whenever I'm dealing with anything that has like heavy weight to it, emotionally, physically, psychically, you know, I'm going to make sure that I'm cleansing my breath, doing my breath practice, make sure I'm moving my body, whether that's yoga, whether that's, you know, cardio, take a walk, take a run, any of those things. That's mainly what I teach to my clients, as well as what I have in my practice. Because we want to figure out how to still be in this body while we are experiencing these things in our life. And I'm not one to spiritually bypass anything. So I want to make sure that I am tuning in to the collective consciousness and what we are dealing with and what things are happening.
Absolutely.
And so just giving yourself a short amount of time, you know, whenever you feel like you need to pull yourself out, like Erica said, pull yourself out.
Yes. You know, seeing patients when I was out in Portland, you know, it would be kind of, it would be like,
Erica with the rose,
like,
essentially, rose is.
It's a huge delay. Yeah, y'all, I don't know.
Let's see if it catches up.
Okay. It's just like...
Everybody clap, move this energy. I'm going to come back out. Okay. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Well, to your point, while people, maybe Erica can try and come back in now too. I wonder if there's like maybe they can both come back in at the same time. Who knows? Just remembering, like, when I was seeing patients in the clinic, like, just being very mindful about how they were entering and how they were presenting. I mean, like, that's also part of, like, you know, really observing, like I said, and not absorbing. Like, what's somebody else's is somebody else's, and the way they process things is their own. And when you're meeting that person in any healing space, where they're at, like, are they angry? Are they sad? Are they upset? What emotional framework are they working with in order to process anything? What physical framework? You know, some people fast, some people binge, some people sleep, some people exercise, some people, you know, like, there's a wide range of processing grief, and nothing is shameful. And I think that is something that, you know, I really learned in like a teacher-student kind of symbiosis, is like, where are we right now collectively? You know, like, I am enjoying the energy exchange, although knowing, like, when and where and how to diffuse it, so that I can then continue with my own day, because I'm consistently in rotation when I'm in a clinic. You know, seeing like 5-6 people at a time, and then soon to be like 10 people at once. So it's like, you know, just kind of consistently moving, and then knowing how to, like, really diffuse and ground myself, which I love that Erica brought up Rose. I heard Lucretia chiming in about what she know about Rose. But it's like real high vibe, real high frequency. It's got Fibonacci codes kind of imbued in it. It's an eternal life kind of medicine. So it's like real high vibration, very powerful, joy and love. Yeah.
Yes. More of our plants just showing us, how to expand. Like, whenever I think about flower, especially flower medicine, I'm always thinking about the breath, because it has that process, that opening process, and that closing, that and when it's budding and when it's wilting. And so, rose is a really great grief medicine. I think grief is something that we don't talk about enough, especially as healers. I make it a point to talk about, you know, us, especially in times like this, because even though we are celebrating, the grief starts all over again.
Exactly.
Because it's different stages to grief.
Exactly.
And so understanding that you might, like, literally when I saw the, you know, the headline, just all over again, like, my whole body just felt it. And although it was in celebration, it was, like I said, it was like, you know, going through that stages of, okay, all right, you know, we're back to square one, you know, and giving yourself the grace and the gentleness to to be in that. We talked last week about having your supports too. That's one thing that I always tell my clients. I'm like, I'm identifying all throughout their process. Who are your people? You know, who are your people that you can tag when you feel like you need to, you know, you've gone a little bit too deep down into that grief state.
Right.
Who can be there to hold that space with you?
Right.
And so just, yeah, and knowing as a practitioner when it's time to also take a moment of like pause. Take a moment of pause.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one thing I'm really observing in my space right now is like, this has been a really huge shift for me in this first part of this year. And I was doing my workout today, and one of the affirmations the teacher was talking about was, there's a difference between progress and productivity. And I'm so used to, especially as entrepreneurs, we get so used to being productive. That means checking off the boxes of our to-do list, like all the things in all the different areas, right?
Right.
But so when we're not productive, we feel like this grief. We feel like this loss, right? We feel like something isn't working, and that's not always the case. Right now, just because I'm not being as productive, meaning I'm not doing a whole bunch of things at one time, multitasking doesn't mean that I'm not in my process. Doesn't mean that my business isn't working. Doesn't mean that things aren't moving the way that they're supposed to be moving in this season, in this time, you know, all those different things. And so having to sit with that, that's why I need the Ashwagandha this week, because it was kind of like, all right, so now I get the chance to slow down, you know, and paying attention to those periods in our body, paying attention to the collective consciousness when it shifts, and we can feel that too. Paying attention to, you know, all the different things that happen in our different boxes that we try to put in boxes, but they actually flow into one another. You know, our life.
For real. Like this compartmentalization is all a part of a capitalist scheme. Like, wait a minute. If you're like, just like you, Lucretia, when you talk about like living like holistically, this kind of compartmentalization don't make no fucking sense. Like, it just doesn't work. And to your point, you know, Joy, like, I love that you're talking about flowers. We talk about like the 3 different degrees of like treating the human form, and one of them would be like flowers and flower essences, and like how they are like literally like they can float up. That's where the spirit is. That's where the Shen is. And so like that is like when and how and why you would treat that. But yeah, this point of compartmentalization and also being productive, like just because it isn't like in a productive consumer capitalist 3D form doesn't mean that you ain't being productive. You need to rest and digest. Just as that's productivity.
That part.
My whole form is productivity. I'm alive. I'm productive. You see this? Watch me nap.
That part. You gotta have time to digest. Yes, kid, like Levin said, we gotta leave the old way of living behind. And that's something else that also is happening in this collective shift, right? Is that we all collectively said we had enough, right? We had enough of this capitalism in a sense of where we have to exchange our time, our money, our hours, our energy, all of that stuff. And now we want something different. So that looks different now. It feels different now. And so those boxes that we had all compartmentalized, and we were like, okay, I'm going to do this while I do this and have my foot up and my hand up at the same time. Like, it doesn't work anymore. And that's amazing. But also because our brain can only process what we have experienced, not, you know, and it likes to think about the future a lot, but it keeps us in between those 2 spaces, past, future.
Right.
So staying present with like, what is really happening? What is really happening right now? You know, and being sitting in that is like, that's where it's gonna all shift.
Can you all hear
me? Yeah.
It's like delay. What's happening? Who said?
Gotta check in with the self.
Oh yeah, gotta check in with the self consistency. I did a little post about that before. I think a couple days ago, and was talking about how I'm not I refuse to call myself a content creator. Like,
Right.
I,
Right.
and big up to the people that are content creators, because I follow a lot of them on YouTube and IG, and I'm big up to them. But for me, because that would again, like, it would have me all over the place. And so I need to be in this space of like, this is about wellness. Remember, Joy, this is about wellness, and this is about the art of your life. Like, this is about wellness and the art of your life. And so my goal is to be like I said, a creator of contentment. You know,
absolutely.
Because that's what life is about. Like, it's about this process of like, where's our happiness? Where's our peace?
Right.
You know?
Right. Can we talk about that? Because like you and I had this conversation where it was like, do we do TikTok? Do we do, like, what's the message? What's the thing? What's the form? And I had this conversation with you, and it was like, you don't need to do all that. The message is already there. You're already living your purpose on purpose. We don't need to be the hype. Like, they're taking notes from us. We don't need to be all this hype. They're fun. They're wonderful. You're right. Absolutely. Big ups. Like, it's creative. It's amazing. It's wonderful what you can do with such an illustrious platform. Thank you. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can crypto our way out of here. Like, we could,
yes.
We can do so much with it. But in terms of like keeping your peace and keeping your groundedness and staying with your purpose on purpose, do you really need to be a part of the hype chain? Like,
yeah,
it's so easy. If it aligns.
And look, I had a Leo tell me that, yo. I had a Leo tell me that. That is so powerful. So it's a whole lot of weight to that when a Leo tells you, all right, we ain't got to do all that.
Yes. Erica, you do what makes you feel good, whatever it is, and allows you to share your message and your energy 150%. Yes.
Like being on this platform with my sisters when it's working and when it's half working. This is what I want to do. The Greek said I am party. Yes, you are, and this always feels good to me. Is to do things like this, and forcing things that don't feel good. Yeah, it's just, that's part of the old paradigm that I just want to leave behind.
Okay.
Definitely.
Yeah. What are some, you were saying some affirmations, like I want to know what people's affirmations are, like currently, recently, like what are you looking in the mirror and like, saying to yourself or at bedtime or when you rise, like what's on your mind?
For real. So what's your affirmations? Give us your affirmations. This is something else that I also offer to my clients, is to get a little tissue box. Water, of course, I'm a water being, so find one that has water, and when I use it all up, I have these little note cards that I have, and I write down quotes that I hear, things that I read, things that download to me, and I put them into this box. And so when I'm feeling it, whether it's daily, whether it's throughout the day, I pull out an affirmation. And so this one is, I am worthy to receive the love I give in return.
Oh, love that.
And that's a quote from my book, The Superpower of Self-Love. Dope. So that was pretty dope. What's your affirmation? Kara says, I know your name. That's why I said Kara. I am amazing. I'm going to be great today. I'm going to have a great day. I nourish the universe, and the universe nourishes me. I am wealthy. Yes.
Check this. I just pulled, I am divine.
Yes. Yes. With the flower on there. Was that the flower?
Yep. These cards are great. I picked these up in Portland when I live out there, and they're called I am cards. So it's like a whole little set, and there's so many. But I choose one daily whenever I wake up and I do some qigong. And that always settles me into the day.
What's some other affirmations y'all got? Give us an affirmation, Key of Life 11. It's an affirmation for today. This week. Yes, I love affirmations, especially like when you have them like that. They're always when you can pull them from somewhere. It's like tarot readings, right? You can it just happens to be the one you needed for that moment in time.
Totally.
So I love the way the universe works that way. I am simple.
Queen.
I am queen is a simple and powerful one. Yes. Beautiful. Yeah, I am yeah. Loving these practices. Having a toolkit, having like all of the different things that you can pull from actually is what helps the process and like getting through things or moving through things in life. Is just having a bunch of things that you know that are surrounding you that you can grab and gravitate towards.
Yeah. That kind of brings to mind too, like I was literally just thinking about this because I had one card from like another deck was like, I am resilient. And I was like, while that's true, I want to redefine what resilience means. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like the trope, right, is like that we always have to be, or that, like Black Indigenous people always are in this space at all times. And it's just like redefining what that means.
Yes. That actually, I don't know when that came to me. I believe my EI brought that to my attention a couple of years ago when I was, going through my cycles and patterns, and I was hitting a hard time, and I had posted this when I was venting, and I was like, I am resilient. She was like, all right, you keep saying that, you're going to keep finding reasons to be resilient. And I was
right.
Like, yeah, I was like, oh, so yeah, that's resiliency is a good thing to have when you are dealing with or you are having really rough challenges in life, when you are needing to bounce back. But to have that as an affirmation in your practice when you are actually flying and soaring is another thing. Just being mindful of your affirmations. Again, like, everything ain't good for every period and point and season in your life. And so knowing when to use those. Tessie uses them. Romantic affirmations.
Ooh.
That's dope.
I
Definitely
love those.
Power into each other. Yes.
Into your reflective selves. Yeah, I like that.
Speaking to the self is speaking to the divine within that it is.
Love that.
Beautiful. Y'all have any questions? What's on your mind? Anything else going on? Hopefully we can get all the sisters on here next week. Drinking your nettle tea. What tea you got? What other tea y'all got? Yes. Again, I have my calming blend. It's just on my website. Oh yeah, Joy. You want to talk about your bus?
Yes, thank you for bringing that up. I almost forgot. Y'all, please like, share, subscribe, check out Earthworks Acupuncture on Instagram. I'm in Greensboro, North Carolina, and we are fundraising right now for a community acupuncture mobile clinic. So found a bus. I can travel to any community in town. You're talking detox tea. I love this, but like we can do anything from like Nada protocol, which is 5 acupuncture points in the ear to treat PTSD. I can work on anything from digestive health to fertility, to any kind of like muscle ache, pain, allergy, anything. And I would really appreciate if people just checked out the fundraiser, helped me elevate the fundraiser, and we have a $20,000 goal. We have about $16,760 left to fundraise in order to not only purchase the bus. I'm so proud of my community because we really have pulled through so far. Like that's a chunk of change that people have donated already, and I just really love like this is a community effort. It's so important that this bus is powered by community, for community. This is for us, by us, by any means necessary. This is what I'm talking about. This is part of the work, because more often than not, like I said on my IG, we have to look internally in order to supply for ourselves. This is preventative health care on every single access, your spiritual, your mental, and emotional. I have been given this great honor that I really want to hold the integrity of. You know, I'm not a gatekeeper, but, you know, I do tend to practice Chinese medicine with integrity while also imbuing, my Caribbean and African ancestries within it. And so it's an honor and a privilege to work with people. I really, really hope that people will check out the GoFundMe and help elevate this project, because this is so important. And this is really pertaining to access to care. This isn't just like some spa treatment that you can go to once a time, unless you want to. I can treat that too, whatever. Because like we all need adult naps. But like,
right.
This is something that like diabetes, cancer, Parkinson's, if you can think of something, Chinese medicine has treated it. So like, let's really like set precedent, especially after this win from the Chauvin case. Like, let's keep this momentum going. Let's keep having these wins for us, by us, in our communities. I think that's really important.
Yes.
Celebrate
you.
Let's go.
Celebrating community. Go bus, the big blue bus.
The big blue bus. Think like Miss Frizzle.
That is so you. That is so you.
Like, we're going in on these channels. Let's go.
Yes. I'm here for it, yo. I can't wait. Yeah, I'm here for it. So y'all make sure that y'all donate. Please. And help to create access for holistic health and Chinese medicine.
Gratitude. Thank you. Yeah, you're getting on the bus. At night it's whatever bus, but during the day, we're heels on wheels, y'all. It's heels on wheels.
So HEALS, right?
Yes.
Here for it. Well, love. We appreciate y'all being here with us, holding a container through all of the ups and downs and the technology stuff we had going on today. Y'all make sure you follow Erica Appleby. Y'all make sure y'all follow Lucretia Zen. And of course, Joy, which page you got going on today?
This one's through Earthworks Acupuncture. So if you just type in Earthworks, you're going to see a beautiful picture of a drum. And that is me. I am drum.
Yes, you are. You are music to my life.
Love you to life. Love you to life. Congratulations, everybody. This is a yes and yes. Cheers.
And I wanted to, y'all see this? You see my new yoga gear?
Woo! Show it.
Yes.
Look at that. This is on your website.
Y'all follow Myotic Flow Yoga and Wellness for all the yoga, all the wellness, all the products and services I have there. Give thanks for y'all being here. Love y'all. Peace, be love, and live truth.
Peace.